He worked the land his family had owned for generations. 1,500 acres of sweat, history, and pride. But one day, without warning, it was gone. Papers signed in secret, and HOA claiming authority they never had. They thought he would stay silent. They thought he would give up. But what they didn't know was that he had a plan. One rooted not in anger, but in law. And when he struck back, the world couldn't believe it. How could one man turn the tables so completely? For decades, the land was his sanctuary. Acres of forest, fields, and family heritage passed down through generations. It wasn't just property, it was legacy, the foundation of his identity. He was known in town as a quiet man, hardworking, never stirring trouble. His days were filled with tending the land, watching seasons change, and planning for his children's future. But developers had been circling for years, whispering about its value. To them, it wasn't heritage, it was profit. And in the shadows of paperwork and legal loopholes, the HOA crafted their scheme. At first, he barely noticed. A letter here, a notice there, nothing that seemed urgent. Until one morning, he discovered the unimaginable. His land had been sold. His home, his fields, his heritage, all gone, stolen on paper. The shock was crushing. Yet even in grief, something burned inside him. He wasn't going to let them erase his family's history. They had stolen from him illegally. And if they wanted to play by papers and signatures, then he would fight back with their own weapons. He began with research. Weeks turned into months as he pored over legal documents, zoning laws, and property records. What he uncovered was staggering. The HOA had no legal claim to his land, yet through fraudulent filings and forged signatures, they pushed the sale through unnoticed. But their arrogance left cracks in their paperwork. Quietly, he built a team, a lawyer who believed in justice, an investigator who dug into records, and a community of allies who had suffered under the HOA's abuses. Piece by piece, the puzzle came together, proof of fraud, evidence of collusion, and signatures that would never hold in court. And then he found the key. The HOA board had signed away rights to his property under the same bylaws that governed their own. Meaning, if their authority was strong enough to steal his land, it was also strong enough for him to use against them. With his lawyer's help, he filed countersuits. Quietly, methodically, he began acquiring rights to their homes. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't loud. But one by one, deeds shifted. Properties they thought untouchable suddenly weren't theirs anymore. The whispers grew. HOA meetings turned chaotic. Members demanded answers. How could one man take on an entire association and win? What they didn't realize was that their greed had left them exposed. And he wasn't finished yet. The day came when the truth could no longer be hidden. In a packed courtroom, evidence was laid bare. Fraudulent signatures, illegal filings, collusion. And then came the shock. The very people who had stolen his land now stood to lose their own homes, legally. Gasps filled the room as the judge read the verdict. The HOA had acted unlawfully. Their bylaws, once used as a weapon, now turned against them. Property after property was awarded in his favor, stripping the board of its power and wealth. The same people who mocked him as powerless now watched in disbelief as the gavel came down. His land was restored. Their homes were gone. It was justice, not with rage, not with violence, but with the law. A reversal so complete it stunned the community. He walked back onto his land with tears in his eyes. The fields, the forests, the legacy, they were his again. But this victory wasn't just about property. It was about dignity, resilience, and proving that power built on lies never lasts. The HOA was dissolved, its leaders humiliated, their empire dismantled by the man they thought they had destroyed. His story spread across towns and cities, a symbol of how one person could stand against injustice and win. But he knew this wasn't only his battle. Across the country, countless families had faced similar struggles, legacies erased by greed and corruption. His fight was a reminder. Silence is not the answer, and justice, though slow, can be reclaimed. He had taken back what was his, and in doing so, he gave others hope. The question that lingered was not about his victory, but about the future. How many more voices will rise, demanding justice where it has long been denied?